I want them to hear what you're saying, and then I'm going to talk to them from the campus perspective. Tell her your name real fast.
Erica.
Vincent, Anna,
And Laura.
So they're all here, and we're just kind of talking. So kind of tell them what you were saying to me, and then we're going to talk about some things that we might be looking at the campus that I can even bring to you.
Okay, first of all, hi guys. It sounds like it's awesome what you're working on. Unfortunately, divorce itself is not something that we track because it would be a self-reported occurrence. When a student enrolls in a school or when they fill out the new card each year for enrollment, the parent completes it and lists who the parents are. But it doesn't even ask if those parents are married. So they could have two parents listed, but they might already be divorced, they might never have been married, or they might be married. So there is nothing in our system to know the marital status of our students' parents. Therefore, if a parent begins school with married parents, and at some time during their schooling here, the parents divorce, there isn't any way of knowing that unless the student or parent comes in and tells us about it. So that self-reported kind of data is just something that the principal or the counselor would just keep in mind, but it wouldn't be recorded anywhere. So basically, when you ask about what kind of programs we have, I think it would be included in any student from single-parent homes, not necessarily children of divorce. Does that make sense?
yes, it does.
Okay.
Do y'all have particular questions that would kind of broad questions that very, very much, Ms. Barnhouse? But one of the things that we might, I guess, bring to us would be, do you see, and I know you've been practicing for a while from a counselor at high school, right?
Yes, sir.
As well as, as a director at the administration building. Do you, I guess, first of all, do you see the need? I'm asking yourselves questions here. Do you see a need, A, and then, I would think we need to keep in mind the FERPA.
Well, that's the problem. I was going to say, here's the problem. Even if we had a little button we could push in our system that listed every student of divorce, we couldn't share it with another student.
Because of FERPA, and that's the federal regulations.
And I will say, just if you want to know what we have, it is probably something that is reported more often in elementary and middle school as it relates to the parents thinking it could be affecting the student. That does not mean it doesn't affect a high school student when their parents divorce while they're in high school, but we just don't see it reported as often. So quite often, our counselors at the elementary level in particular may happen to know that 4 or 5 of their students' parents have divorced during that year, and sometimes they do have groups for them, group counseling, so that the kids can share their feelings with each other. But that is typically occurring at a younger age.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, certainly, we'll talk more about that in a minute. I guess my second question is, do you see the need? And secondly, you don't see any programs coming down the pike that would do that because of the things we've already outlined with FERPA?
We don't have any way of tracking it, It's not one of those pieces of data that we are required to collect, and therefore, because of FERPA, it's not one of those pieces of data that we're allowed to collect.
It's FERPA. Okay.
Yeah, you can tell them all about FERPA, Mr. Cole.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, I've dealt with that. Okay. I think the rest of it we can do on the campus, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about the campus because I'm going to talk to them about some group sessions that we can organize and those kinds of things, to support students, and
Okay.
And we can do that, and which has been done. Thank you for your time this morning, and this is
You're
Paula
very
Barnhouse.
welcome.
She'll actually be at your graduations,
Oh, okay.
and so she'll be standing at the very front down there.
Or sitting.
For the programs. And then, like.
And what do we do on the programs? I would say this: we provide counseling services. Our counselors work with students that are going through, like when students lose a parent through death and so forth. We bring those students in. They counsel with them. They provide that safety net, if you will, that support service to help them. So they're really good at that. And so if we know about divorce, a lot of times we don't know. Because people won't talk about it.
True.
They don't want to talk about it. They're embarrassed or they're hurt, they're angry. All those feelings inside of you that we have, and they don't want to talk about it. But we would provide counseling.
Well, the other one was like, do you personally know any student with divorced parents here? Or like that they've talked to you or asked for help?
No, I have come and said, my parents are going through divorce. I need support. Now, I have talked to students that in the office many times this year, that as I talk to them, as we start looking through their issues that's going on, why is this going on? Why are you behaving this way? Or why am I seeing a decline in the grades? Well, in that, then through that we come, well, this went on earlier in the year, or this is what's going on now. Yes. Can I give you a classic example? You're all seniors again, so I'm going to tell you this kind of confidential thing again. Had an explosion hearing yesterday. In the explosion hearing, I do a profile of the student. As I was doing the profile of this particular student, here's what I noticed. I noticed the first semester, all A's, B's, and C's. The fourth 6 weeks, I noticed it failed 2 classes. The fifth 6 weeks, failed 6 out of 8 classes. A trend. And we're talking about classes where you were pulling A's and B's. You with me? And now you're pulling not passing. Failing 6 out of 8. So, huge trend. Well, where do you think I went immediately? I stopped and started saying, okay, talk to us about this trend. We're going to deal with the behavior. We're going to deal with if I expel you or not from school. But that's not my focus right now. I want to get to kind of some roots of what's going on. Well, what I found out was there had been a divorce right after Christmas, and it happened through the holidays where some things become final and a particular person left. Is that, you know what I'm saying? And this happened over the holidays where the divorce was actually at a point where the party left. So the person not only was living with one parent and her sister, or his sister, I should say. So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how that.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Veronica Orozco. I'm the receptionist here at Nimitz High School.
Hey, we wanted to ask if there was any programs here at Nimitz for kids who have divorced parents.
Well, I don't know specifically the name of any programs, but I do know that they can get help here. I know they can talk to their counselors, and I know that there's in the counselor's office they'll be able to support them and advise them of what type of programs out there for them.
Or do you think the kids who have divorced parents are affected, like grade-wise and academically wise?
Yes, I think they are, and I really don't think that it doesn't matter how old you are, what age it is that your parents are divorced. I think it affects them tremendously, and for some of them it may be a surprise. I wouldn't know because my parents are not divorced, but I had a friend that he was probably about in his 20s already, and his
That's my question.
Okay, what's your name?
Jeanette Reyes.
Okay, we're just gonna ask you if you know any programs at school that help kids with divorced parents.
As far as I know, no, but they can always talk to their counselors.
Have you been through any divorce?
Have I been through a
I mean,
divorce? No.
your parents.
Yes, my parents were divorced when I was 11.
Did that affect you in any way?
I think so. I think it puts a lot of pressure on kids as far as which parent is their quote unquote favorite parent who they want to spend more time with.
Did it affect any of your grades, your attitude, anything like that?
I think so because there's usually one parent in your household that pays more attention to your grades. So if you're not living with that parent, then your grades can go down and you feel like the other parent's not going to find out because you don't live with them.
Okay, so what's your name?
My name's Dulce. I'm 17 years old.
Okay, do you go to high school?
Yeah.
Okay. Are your parents divorced?
Yeah, they've been divorced since I was 12.
Since you're 12. Did that affect you in any way in your school behavior and your school grades?
Yes, it did. Like, I wouldn't like going to school sometimes, and I wouldn't pay attention when I was there, and I'll get really bad grades. And
At your school, is there any programs to help you or that helped you go through your parents' divorce or counseling? Any programs?
well, I went to counseling most of the time, and it helped a lot because I had somebody to talk to about it, and it really did help a lot. Like, get everything out of my
What was the counseling in your school or just as outside of school?
It was in school.
Oh, it was in school.
In school.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Erica,
How old are you?
17.
Are your parents divorced?
I have a friend whose parents are divorced.
Do you see her struggling in school and like with her behavior and her grades?
Well, she graduated high school, but she had like a couple of problems. She used to like not go to school a lot.
Did they have any programs at the school that she go to for divorced parents?
No, but mostly I was the one to talk to her.
You were the one to talk to her?